Don't get stuck in somebody else's past. I want to tell you all a story about a man who found himself unable to move forward because he was stuck. So let me tell you about Joe. Joe grew up in the inner city of New York, and he came from a household where there was alcoholism, some abuse, and he had also been molested growing up. So the household had all of this trauma and this drama in it. And as he grew up and his parents died, then he moved into that house as an adult. He got married, and he was with his wife for 50 years. Now, in the process of this, he moved in after his second marriage. He and his wife were very close. They were so close that they almost became enmeshed. They did everything together. And as they grew older, his wife was a little weak because she had a lot of perpetual physical problems and ailments that she had to have treated. And he just wouldn't move. He wouldn't move on. He would not do anything without her. Well, it came a day where she was in the hospital more and more. And as they were dealing with these dynamics, he lost his grandson. And when his grandson passed away, they took his ashes and they buried some of them in the backyard because this guy had a garden back there that he used to till and grow and nurture with his grandson. So they found that that was a really good way that they could honor the grandson. Well, it was a year later when his wife passed away. And they were so entrenched and their lives were so intertwined that he was really having trouble with this loss. They wound up putting her ashes in the backyard as well. Now, after that happened, a lot of his family members tried to get him to move. You need to move. Come on and live with us. Come stay with us. And they refused to move. He would not move. He felt like that his memories and their lives together were tied up in this house. Now, I was telling this story to a friend, and they said something that was so powerful. While most other people in this man's life tried to help him to see that he needed to move on from his childhood trauma. He had to move on from the abuse he saw between his parents, that he needed to move on. He could not and would not hear that. And this friend said, wow, he's stuck. I said, you think? And they said, no. He's stuck in somebody else's past. It was such a revelation when they said that to me. He's stuck in somebody else's past. Now, when you think about it, we were talking about, well, look, if he was molested in that house, if he saw alcoholism and his parents mistreating each other in that house, if he lost a sibling in that house, if he now has lost his wife in that house, then what would be the best thing for this man to do in order to move forward? But he just was stuck in that house. So what is it with you? How might you be stuck in somebody else's past? What does that mean? Well, in practical terms, it can mean that we have been so traumatized, so unable to forgive, so unable to separate ourselves from that trauma and to truly move forward in our lives because we're harboring not only the pain of our past, but the pain that was inflicted on us as children because our parents had not healed their trauma. This trauma is trauma they didn't even talk about. Now, if you're of my generation, parents did, especially in the African American culture, parents didn't often talk about the mistakes they made, the shames they carried inside, rightfully or wrongly. They didn't talk about the things that they'd been through that might have been traumatizing or abusive for them. They didn't talk about those things. It was like passed down for generation after generation. No, we just don't talk about that, all the way to slavery. And so when they don't talk about it, that does not cause the trauma to leave. Look, they did tests on rats, okay, where they put them through certain traumatic situations, and they determined that even their offspring, that's animals now, not even humans, had some kind of a DNA alteration that caused the trauma their parents' generation went through to affect them. Kids wasn't even here. Kids haven't seen that trauma. Rats darn sure ain't talking about whatever trauma they went through, okay? And they had a mutation in their DNA that caused that trauma to be passed on to them. Now, I have not read that study myself. I will definitely do so because this is intriguing to me. But even that aside, imagine that some of the trauma that we're carrying in our lives is because we were raised by traumatized people who had not healed themselves and were raising us in the very same fear and trauma that they tried to hide from us. As a result of that, we go through life at the hands and behest of their trauma. And we are on some level stuck in somebody else's past. I just wanted to share that story with you. I don't have a lot to offer beyond that, but it's something for you to think about. I want you to think about that. How might you be stuck in somebody else's past? The only way to suss that out is to go back and think about what are some of the defining moments in your life that changed your belief system or built your belief system in yourself, in life, and try to go back and understand at that point in time what you came to believe about yourself and about the world around you as a result of that specific defining moment. I'm going to give you a link below to a defining moments worksheet. This worksheet will help you to identify along a timeline some of the defining moments you went through. And within that, you're going to pick out what you thought at that age about that situation. You can't look at it hindsight as an adult. You got to look at how did that affect me at that particular age, and what did I come to believe about myself and the world around me as a result of that. I guarantee you that if you do this and take your time, then you begin to understand the root of a lot of the triggers that you're experiencing that are taking over and hijacking you in here and now situations. Also, I'm offering you a complimentary breakthrough session. There's a link below. Click through, make an appointment for your complimentary 30-minute breakthrough session with me. And always remember, your greatest power is realizing the truth of who you are. I want to make sure you know that truth. Hey, if you like what you see here today, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you know when we upload, and like and share the video. Thanks.